Hey YouTubers, and welcome back to another Dragon Ball Super discussion video. I am once again joined by the one, the only Mr. Sexy himself, MJ over at GeekListTV. MJ, how are you, man?
I don't know how I feel about you calling me that, man. I'm just kidding.
You call me that all the time. I don't know.
Whoa. Anyways, guys, what's up? Thank you for having me back on that channel, Mark. It's always a pleasure.
Anyway, anytime, man. Anyway. So, we're here to talk today about whether or not the Battle Royale of Dragon Ball Super was actually a good idea. And you and I have talked about this several times before, honestly, just multiple videos.
On air.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's just ridiculous. But we've actually gotten to see at least one episode containing this particular format of fighting when it comes to all the universes just basically going at it at the exact same time. And we just kind of wanted to revisit this video topic, this discussion topic, before we get any more of those episodes. So, MJ, like, what are your thoughts, man? Do you think that this is actually a good idea? I mean, how did this play out in the very first episode, episode 97, the last episode we actually watched? Do you think that it's portraying the fights in the best way possible, or do you feel like just the amount of chaos going into all of this is just basically making it a little bland?
I'm enjoying it. I mean, I enjoyed the first episode, and I overall just enjoyed the idea of a battle royale because it's something different. It's Toriyama and Toei, whoever, thinking outside the box, which I do kind of like. Excuse me. My bad. I had to burp. Excuse me. Excuse me. But the reason why I say it's a good idea is because if you remember, the idea of a Xeno tournament was teased in both the end of the Universe 6 tournament in the manga and the anime. And we always just, people were like, oh man, another tournament? Jeez, one right after the other. But we got the Future Trunks arc, and then the idea started to settle in. Okay, we went through time travel, timelines were blown up. Let's get back to a tournament. Good old Dragon Ball, And instead of it being a good old-fashioned tournament, we got the Battle Royale, like a different take on a tournament. Like I've talked about before, I'm a huge wrestling fan. WWE and other wrestling promotions do stuff like this. It's like 30, 40 men get into a ring, and whoever throws you out, you're the last one standing, you win the tournament, right? You win the Battle Royale. So I kind of like them doing that. It may not be what's great for Dragon Ball as a whole. That's yet to be seen because we're only one episode in. But as to quote Dempsey's Domain, he titled his, I believe, like dissection of the first episode or like a review or whatever, The Tournament of Chaos, which he is not wrong. It was pretty much chaos. All this shit happened, and it was like basically in 1 minute, and there was like so much going on. You had like 17 and 18 fighting the Pride Troopers, or at least 18 anyways. Then you had like Vegeta fighting Groot, and you had like all this stuff. You had like Goku like fighting all these different people about to get thrown off. Like so much stuff happened in this episode. And then while all this stuff was happening, you saw like fireworks and smoke in the background. So very much it's chaotic. I'm willing to give it the benefit of the doubt before I say no. I'm gonna wait till a couple episodes to see how it rolls. But the first episode, it was chaotic, but usually that's how most tournaments start off. I mean, as far as Battle Royale tournaments start off, they are chaotic. And when you think about it, there's many different ways you can go about it. Me and you joked off air, like, what if Toriyama one day was just like watching a wrestling pay-per-view and he's like, yeah, let me do this, let's do this. So if he's seen them, or if he studied them, or if Toei studied the Battle Royale concept, it's not just wrestling, it's other stuff. If they studied the Battle Royale concept, there's many different ways to take this. You can do certain angles, you can do certain little plots, within the tournament, So I'm willing to see where it goes. But the first episode, chaotic, but again, I'm willing to see where it goes.
My only, I guess, thought or opinion when we saw the last episode, or when it came to the last episode, was I feel like the whole Battle Royale situation gives them an excuse to basically write characters off, write in interesting, if not very chaotic or ridiculous fight scenes, or at least establishing shots of the tournament ring itself of just exploding out of nowhere, indicating a huge concept of epic proportions without actually giving us any real, I guess, substance to any of the fights. And I don't necessarily like that. One of the things that they kind of or at least kind of went through my mind when they basically came up with the whole Tournament of Power concept, was the fact that we were going to see a group of 10 fighters fight throughout a tournament, one team after another, in the same vein that the Dark Tournament was of Yu Yu Hakusho. And I've mentioned that a lot on this channel, with the fact that that was what was going to happen, or at least what I wanted to happen. And after seeing this particular first episode, I gotta admit, I am excited to see where they take it. I know not every single episode is going to act out or be the exact same way that episode 97 was for Dragon Ball Super, but at the same time, it just kind of feels like a little bit of a letdown. Like, we've already seen 2 characters be put out of the ring for basically no reason at all, and had no real use or impact on the major teams or entire arc of the series. And although that probably would have been true if they had gone head-to-head, one team versus one team throughout an entire tournament, it would have actually felt like a little bit more impactful to see Goku or Vegeta or someone else from Universe 7, or even someone else from Universe 6 or Universe 11 or 10 even, take out these people that we've seen being taken out, without actually, I guess, pushing us to the idea that these people we're introducing, even though they're interesting concepts, things to look at, they aren't necessarily important to the story, so we're just going to brush them off. And I think that we're losing something there. I think that that is something that we need to address when it comes to these particular storytelling methods or something else like that. Although this is a new and interesting way to basically tell a tournament arc in Dragon Ball, if nothing has just been kind of inundated with the concept of tournaments and people fighting one-on-one or team matches or something like that throughout its entire run, it would have been interesting to see a shakeup of multi-universal proportions doing the exact same thing, other than putting 80 people against each other at the same time, and we're not necessarily seeing one person fight another person, or one team fighting another team, even if they had to cut out this universe fighting this universe, as long as we got to see Universe 7 versus Universe 10 or 9 or 11 or 6 or someone else like that.
Okay, I see your point on the Goku and Vegeta, like what if they would have taken out the fighters that we saw get taken out. However, though, to counter that, because I do see a different point of view on that, having someone like Basil come in and take out that fighter, the fairy, I can't remember what her name is because she was given a name, having Basil come in and take them out, that's kind of cool, because Toei's kind of putting the spotlight on other characters that we didn't expect. You know what I mean? We've talked about sleeper characters, blah blah blah. Basil was the MVP of 97. You know what I mean? He came in, he helped take out that robot. He came in, he took out the fairy. He came in, he fought that sumo wrestler, and now that he's gonna gang up on Goku. So Basil was in almost every other fight scene in that episode. He was the MVP. He was really taking it to people and trying to knock off fighters for his team. I like that. That's very cool, because that's very unpredictable. Instead of having like Goku or Vegeta come in and take them all out, which, going by the leaks, might happen next week. Instead of Goku and Vegeta coming out and taking everyone out, you're having other characters here who we didn't really think would get the spotlight, and they're getting it. You know what I mean? I think that's kind of cool. So I kind of like the concept that Goku and Vegeta will get their turn later in future episodes, but having some episodes where Basil, maybe even like Dispo, you know, people like that, or Kaba, them taking out people that we just would not really expect, I think it'd be kind of cool, at least in my opinion. That's the way I viewed it. Like, I in my live stream, I really put over Basil. I was like, really, yo, Basil, you my dude, I want you in fighters. You know, I want to fight with you. You know, your kicking abilities. Like, I really liked how they used Basil in episode 97, so I'm fine with him taking out people. It's kind of unpredictable for me. You know, I can't wait to see what other characters they target. You know, like who's Toei gonna push? You know what I mean? Who are they gonna try and get over as a cool character that we've never seen before? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand what you mean, but at the same time, I would also kind of point to you to the preliminary matches when it came to Basil. Like, the guy cannot hold his stamina. He has basically no stamina when it comes to fighting the way he is fighting, and he is going to basically lose out on that. Giving him a spotlight is interesting, considering the fact that they've already given him a spotlight, although he was also fighting Boo at the time, I believe.
Yes.
So, like, I just don't understand, like, what they're going to be what they're going to do with him going forward, considering the fact that he's going to run out of steam at least sometime very soon. He's not going to be very useful to his team. So basically getting him a spotlight on one episode, especially one of the very beginning episodes. In fact, the very first episode is something, I guess, decent for his character, something that we were expecting. Also something probably Toei, if you really wanted to, you know, kind of break it down, probably knew that he was going to get some kind of spotlight like this going into the major points of Dragon Ball Super. So they spotlighted him at the very beginning to at least show that he was capable of this particular like forefront, like first 2 minutes of the fight to basically take out 1 or 2 people. But he's going to get super tired. I understand that.
Well, but, Mark, can we talk about spoilers on your channel?
Yeah.
Well, okay, since we're evaluating the Battle Royale idea, this spoiler recently came out. Actually, I think it came out a couple weeks back, but a more detailed version of that episode came out. I think an actual synopsis came out with it instead of just the title. Guys, if you don't want to hear about spoilers, make sure you mute this part of the video or whatever. But basically what happens, because this could shape the Battle Royale, that's why I'm bringing it up. Supposedly, the big talk of the town is that Universe 9, the entire Universe 9 is going to get taken out next episode by Goku and Vegeta. So,
well,
what are your thoughts on that?
They don't say Universe 9 in particular.
Yeah, they're just judging them because the title is called Universe Despair, right? And then the synopsis is that supposedly one universe is vanquished or something like that. I think that's what they said. And then when you go look at the preview, the Universe 9 people are the ones targeting Goku. It's all of Universe 9. It's the Trio of the Dangers and 2 of the other characters from Universe 9. So the talk of the town is that Goku and Vegeta are going to eliminate the entire Universe 9 team. Of course, it's just it's a spoiler. We're not too sure yet. The episode hasn't aired. I just wanted to hear your thoughts on that. Like, what do you think about that?
No, I completely understand where that's coming from. And although I wouldn't necessarily point at Universe 9 at this particular moment, it is worth talking about the fact that potentially they could, when you think about it, they could be out and about the next episode or 2, just completely out, their universe wiped out and everything else like that. Considering the fact that they've had so much build-up at this point, the universe itself doesn't necessarily need to the story in the universe doesn't need any more really introduction or anything. We've seen them do a bunch of stuff, as opposed to all the other universes. So I can understand that. But when you break it down, I mean, just in general, I just don't know if this is going to be put together in such a way where we're seeing enough backstory, enough, I guess, sympathy, latent scenes for any of the other universes besides Universe 7 or Universe 6.
Yeah.
That is going to justify why a Battle Royale was a good idea, other than the fact that it represented a interesting way to tell a story that most Dragon Ball or even anime tournaments don't get to tell their stories, and also allow them to introduce a ton of new awesome character designs without actually having to develop any particular character past just the physical state or whatever really interesting looking technique that they might have. And you know, honestly, I'm still on the fence about all of it. I don't necessarily know whether I think it's a really good idea one way or the other, whether or not
were you
these
surprised?
Characters.
I want to ask you this. Were you surprised when the Tournament of Power, you know, when they first went to the World of Void, and they did Universe 2, 4, 6, stuff like that. Were you actually surprised that they showed every character? I thought there was going to be a lot more silhouettes than there were. We know for a fact there's 2 silhouettes from Universe 6 and 2 from Universe, I believe 2, right, with Brienne in them. So
no, not Brienne. Oh, there's 2 silhouettes with Brienne, but there's also 2 with Universe.
It's
4 or something, like one of them. I can't remember, but there's silhouettes with Universe 2, yes, and there's silhouettes with Universe 6. And then one of the universes in particular, they're like, we don't see anybody. Like, we literally don't see 2 people, but they said they have 10 people, so
yeah,
we don't
4.
know.
Yeah, that's right. Tien was the one who could sense him. No one else could. That's right. He said there's a faint presence. Were you shocked that they actually unveiled most of the majority of the characters? I legit wasn't expecting that. I thought we were only going to get like 50 at most, legit.
No, I understand where that's coming from. And honestly, I don't necessarily think that I was really that surprised with it, because when you look at all of these characters that they were introducing, I just kind of assumed that none of them are going to be that important one way or the other. In fact, I really think the ones that are in silhouettes are probably going to be the most important people in the goddamn arc. Not to kind of get, kind of pardon my French, but I really think that they're going to be some of the most important people in the arc, because they're not necessarily showing them to us. Why keep them a secret if everyone's just going to kind of only play a minimal role in this entire tournament? I mean, we saw someone from, I think it was Universe 4, but I could be completely wrong there, but it was Universe probably 4 or something, that I guess got in the way of Goku as he was trying to fight Toppo in the last episode, in episode 97. And, I wouldn't be surprised if that's basically the biggest contribution that he ever gave to this particular storyline. In fact, there was another thing to point out in the last arc, or the last episode, is Botamo is part of the gang kind of cornering Universe 7 at this point, with Gohan, Tenshinhan, Master Roshi, and everyone left behind. Is Botamo going to be another one of the people who just gets kind of knocked off without actually getting to see the legitimate scope of his power, even considering the fact that it could be almost limitless? What's the point there? Like, what is the actual point? And that type of stuff makes me mad. Like, I feel like this would be such a long, repetitive arc. Yes, I understand if it was team versus team, fighter versus fighter, or battle royale between two teams of 10 every single time, but it would add a sense of drama that we're not necessarily getting with this particular arc, that I think we're going to be missing or sorely kind of resentful of as it keeps going on and dragging, forward.
I agree to an extent, but I also disagree. I mean, I feel like it's just a bit too early to say, because just in this one episode, only 2 fighters have been knocked out. One was by Goku, one was by Basil. And according to what we see from the bench, where the gods are at, no one else has been knocked off yet.
Yeah.
So, and then going off for the whole minute per episode, I feel like we will get... I don't want to say we're going to see every fighter get knocked off, but we're probably going to see the majority of the fighters get knocked off. I don't feel like... Maybe there'll be like one or two exceptions where there'll be an off-screen knockout, off the stage. But going by the fact that they're going real slow with it, I think we could potentially see the majority of the fighters get knocked off, like, actually on screen. At least in my opinion. If that's the case, like, an example is, I get what you're saying. An example is, let's say Piccolo. Piccolo, is walking around the tournament, and he runs into Botamo. Let's say all the Universe 6 fighters are still there. Let's say Piccolo takes him out like that, and we see it. The reason why I would be okay with that is because Piccolo was there present in the Universe 6 tournament, so he knows Botamo's weakness. You know what I mean? Now, is it kind of bad writing that you would think after almost 2 years, Botamo did come up with some other... it's up to you whether you want to think that or not. I mean... But the problem is, the point is, Piccolo already saw his weakness. He knows how to take Botamo out of a stage and knock him out of bounds. So if we saw it like that, I wouldn't be, upset with it. I feel like just going off that, I feel like we may actually see the majority of fighters get knocked off on screen. If that's the case, as long as they explain it and show it right, I'd be fine with it. I wish they would do I wish they would do my gimmick where we see Magetta with headphones. That way he can't hear people call him names. That would be funny.
They're obviously not doing that. And one of the cool scenes was Magetta fighting Toppo in the last episode. So, I mean, Magetta, look, that was really cool to me. And I feel like that's one of the reasons the Battle Royale is actually a really cool idea, is that even though it's just kind of a cutaway scene and you don't necessarily need to focus on it, it shows that Magetta is so much more of a tank than we even thought.
Yeah, he's fighting Toppo and stuff, so that's cool.
Yeah, he puts himself on the freaking line, going head to head, at least fist to fist with Toppo, and I mean, the guy is just such a beast. So I can think, one of the cool things about the Tournament of Power, the cool thing about the Battle Royale concept, is the fact that we get to see fighters fight in a way that we wouldn't get to see if it were just like a normal matchup or ring out type of situation that we usually get from Dragon Ball or most other animes. So I actually really like that concept. Even if it's just a flash, we get to sit there and speculate. We can speculate whether or not Magetta could really take out Toppo, or Magetta is just enough of a tank that he could literally take out Toppo and basically get him off if the tournament ring rules apply and everything else like that. So I think it's worth talking about. I think it's going to be interesting to see going forward. But, you know, as it is and as it stands right now, I'm not necessarily convinced that this was the best way forward.
I see your point, but I disagree. We'll just have to wait and see. However, though, what will make this tournament really badass is, like, towards the end, all the bullshit, all the other universes are out of it. I hope we get a Universe 6, Universe 7 team, like, combined versus the magical girls and the Super Sentai. I think that would be badass. I think that would legit be cool. Like, just stand the line and all the other universes on the bench where their gods are watching. They're like, this is the fight. This is it. You know? And then all the girls transform. All the Pride Troopers power up. And then, of course, Goku and them transform. Universe 6. It's like, orgasm. You know what I'm saying? Like, Universe 6 should be working with 7. I agree with you. They should be working together. I think they should be, but it's just funny when Beerus is like, take them out. You don't lose Universe 7, and then Choppa's like, take out Universe 7. That's fucking...
I love that. Like, Choppa's like gives 0 fucks about his brother. No, but like that's the thing though. Like, I definitely like that concept between, like, how they fight each other and how they want to win, all this other stuff. It's so cool. It's nothing like we've ever seen before, and I can't wait to see how they progress with it. But at the same time, it's like, I hope it slows down at some point, because right now it's just way too chaotic, and I'm sure it will slow down. But if I were to guess, I think it's going to slow down only with the characters that we got to see, like, have full episodes about them. So honestly, if I were to guess, like, it would be Toppo, Jiren, Goku, Gohan, the Brienne girl, you know, like the Sailor Moon Super Sentai characters from Universe 11 and 2, and maybe Hit, but I don't even know about that. So like those people are it's going to break down to. And Frieza, obviously Frieza's going to be there at some point too. I mean, I don't think he's getting knocked out anytime soon. So it does beg the question of how it's all going to play out, honestly.
If you go check out my video on my channel with Mark about how Frieza could be the final villain, you can see how that could tie in, you know? Just saying. Just saying.
Is that right? You're gonna plug yourself. Anyway, guys, we're gonna leave it at that. I hope everyone enjoyed the video. Please make sure to go down in the comment section and put y'all's opinions in the comment section, because as MJ likes to say, and I also really like this saying as well, you know, this is just a discussion. It doesn't end with us. We want to hear what y'all guys think about this, and at the same time, we also want you guys to go down to the description section below, hit that link, go see what MJ's all about. His channel makes some real awesome content, daily anime content for anyone who's interested. And also, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on this video. Don't forget to hit that bell over by the subscriber button to get you notifications every single time that I upload. Anyway, guys, it's been real. Bye.